Folks, welcome back to the channel. I mean, there's times when I pin comments. I pin quite a lot of comments, especially in our Telegram group, especially on Twitter also. I think it's quite important to remind those who don't believe in the process and believe that all hope is lost, all the time, seeing problems, right, instead of solutions. It's kind of one of those ones when you simply say to them, eat your heart out. If someone continues to act as a spearhead in this community and continues to push through, going through governance and correct procedures and actually respecting the system, which unlike so many others, like Vin, who just simply will bend something to better serve their own intent. And it's sad to see that. Now, amends can be made for things like that, but ultimately it's becoming very obvious in this community that, hey, the bigger validators are starting to see that there are issues in the community and, hey, these people are doing wrong stuff, and ultimately this can never ever go unpunished. From where I'm sitting, from my own opinion, if we allowed this to go unpunished, it does not set a good example. And it also lets those bad actors know, right, if we do punish them for something like this, that we're not going to put up with this. We are going to make a stand. And if you're not going to play by the rules and you're not going to do things fairly, then we are going to go through correct governance procedures and do the things that you claim to do. We will actually go and do that instead of just simply going each time like every other person just goes, we'll just create it ourselves. We don't need to put it through governance. I'm going to sign a deal behind doors with another team. We don't need to put it through governance. If you're even going to be sneezing in a certain direction of this blockchain and it affects governance or anything to do with that, if you want to add an apostrophe to the end of classic, you better be putting a governance proposal up. And it really is as simple as that. And I'm sorry to be so forward and so sort of like direct at the moment, but it's just like, I'm so happy to see a proposal like this being recognised for what it specifically is, because there's so many people that think it's okay, think that it's okay, right? For like a group of people, for example, to spend 8 months doing nothing and then take a substantial paycheck out of the community pool to pay admins of a Discord group so they can buy Rumbas. Just because they've changed their name to Hexagon does not change anything. And it's like the community are speaking so strongly about everything, and we need to continue to stand together. We need to continue to push this movement forward, because ultimately something we've always found in this community is that so many people that have like large voices, large followings, have got so much to say, but no one's ever got any solutions to propose, or, it's just consistently, this is really crap, and this is really bad, this needs to change, this validator's not doing something. We'll contact them. There's all these different things that we can do, and we're all sort of responsible realistically for this blockchain if it is decentralized and it is a community coin, and I believe it is a community coin. And things like this are starting to show that foul play is not going to be tolerated in this community. LUNC is not a money tree at the end of the garden, nor is it your playground to bend and manipulate people as and how you please. Nor is it okay for you to openly state that, I'm done with LUNC and I'm moving to another chain that I'm building myself, but I'm going to stay as an admin of the Commonwealth. No, they had 2 choices to make when that all went down. And the simplest choice was to centralize and privatize the Commonwealth. Everything that's going on with Station at the moment and this whole sort of Terra Rebel ploy to try and get in and multi-signature wallets, the whole thing is just absolutely screaming red flags. And if we need to put up a proposal for the community to vote on to show Vin that this is not what we agreed, even people like Strathcole is standing forward and saying, you've more or less bent this to your own will, and you're playing a very dangerous game and walking a very fine line of trying to be this guy. Everybody wants to be this guy that unites the community, but guess what? Once again, people are just trying to reunite old bad actors and put old bad actors back into positions of power. And people would say, oh, well, Terror Rebels have changed. Lots of people have left. Yes, but the core people that were at the core of the implosion are the ones that stayed at Terror Rebels. The fact that Vin refers to them as Hexagon to try and avoid them even relatively mentioning Terror Rebels just goes to show how much and how desperately they're all trying to cling on to some sort of power. And like I was saying, the bigger validators are starting to understand there must be an equal playing field. If we're going to restore this blockchain, if all of this effort's going to be made by all of these different people, things have to change, and change starts at its core. I'm so excited to see this hopefully reach that last little block to pass, right? And then we get to the point where they don't obey governance. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to open a Commonwealth because it takes about 20 seconds. I've already got one ready to go. And it's going to be proposed through governance. And I'm going to hand that over to the L1 team. Even with Ving's latest behavior, at the end of the day, he's still the paid L1 lead. It will get handed over to him for due processing and to go through the correct procedures, because respecting governance is all we've got. This really annoys me. Hide in plain sight, Luna logo. But yeah, it's all very interesting. This is a huge win for us as a community. For myself, a lot of time, a lot of thought goes into this, and it's not easy taking the brunt all of the time of all of the negative people that do take the time to comment on stuff and do take the time to sort of like try to attempt to whittle you down and push you back and try to make you feel like everything's pointless and you shouldn't even bother to begin with. That's never going to be the case here. Like I was saying, I'm always going to continue to keep pushing forward, keep doing these kind of content-packed videos where we actually dive into things and follow things that are going on. I'm hoping to get a quant update at some point. It's very tricky at the moment with those sorts of people because it's all a little bit peculiar. But hopefully, with the right support going their way, things will be looking a lot, more positive than they already are. I hope the community is going to go and voice their concerns as to what has currently just transpired. If you haven't listened to the previous videos today, I know we've got so much content going up and it's so hard for you folks to keep up with it. If you haven't watched that, try go back and watch it. Try get up to date with what is currently going on. It's so important. But folks, huge win. Throw some penguins down in the comments. Throw some flames. Throw some emojis. Just let me know that you're happy that this is going through and we're actually getting validators to do what we want them to do. And that's so important because recently, right, there's always been this issue of like trying to get them to vote. And now all of a sudden, boom, we've got them voting. We've got their attention, and having their attention so important for the next sort of like steps forward. And I think the funniest thing about what Vin has done to bend my proposal to his will is we specifically mention about separate endpoint infrastructure and providing that and all of those different things. And I think Strathcole's broken it down the best. And, if I was in the wrong and I didn't describe things properly, someone like Strathcole would step forward and say to me, hey, Jay, you didn't describe things best and stuff like that. But it's not like that. And I'm so happy to see people like him speaking out, and hopefully we're going to see more people speak out and we can get our point across that this is not okay and you should have run all of this through governance. Absolutely insane day of ups, downs, and then backups. Hopefully we're going to reach this last tiny little bit and get us to quorum. It's looking like a strong yes. I'm so happy about this one. Going into the weekend on a real positive. Folks, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. None of this is financial advice. It's all my own opinions and humbly my own opinions. Like always, I'll catch you in the next one.